Let's see. YouTube is up. Kick seems to be up. Last thing is Rumble. Let's see. We are ready to rumble. All right, never again. Sorry about that. I will never say that again. At least not in that context. I'm sorry about that. I was bad. Let's see. Hope everybody had a good weekend. I had lots of fun for my weekend. So I hope everybody else did as well. All right. We got lots to cover today, so we'll hop right into it. Like I said, I hope everybody had a good weekend. I had some fun things. Nothing particularly crazy, but I had a pretty good weekend, so I guess nobody was asking me. Nobody cares. Let's fix this real quick. Alright. So, today is Monday, April 13th, 2026. This is episode number 87 of Addressing the Issues. Before we start today, I'm going to go ahead and ask everybody to drop a like, share the stream. It should be a pretty interesting one. We got lots to cover. Lots and lots of stuff. I mean, some of everything today, it seems. So yeah, if you guys would go ahead and like the stream on your respective platform and share with somebody new, a friend, family, member, your girlfriend, whatever it is. Go ahead and share today's episode. I'm looking at something that I don't even understand. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. Let's jump right into it. So, President Trump has possibly gone off the deep end. Truly. I believe it was this morning, maybe yesterday, last night, yesterday evening. I don't even know. He posts things all times of the day now, no matter how crazy they are. But he posted a picture on Truth Social. It's since been deleted, depicting himself as Jesus. I guess that spiritual advisor has him completely off the deep end, or whoever's surrounding him. I mean, it is clearly a post that he made. I mean, I guess not that he made. Somebody made on his account, depicting him as Jesus, holding light, healing somebody praying to President Trump in this images of angels behind him, alongside fighter jets and bald eagles, of course. Absolute blasphemous. I mean, if you want to lose your voters, people who stood by you this entire time, this is the quickest way possible to do it. He's since deleted it after, I guess, he realized somebody told him, hey, this isn't getting the engagement we thought it was, or would. We thought people would accept you as Jesus, when in fact most of his supporters, most of his base were like, this is complete blasphemy. Somebody needs to check in on him. Truly, somebody needs to check in on him. When he gets questioned about it today by the press at the White House, he was meeting with a DoorDash driver, DoorDash grandma. She seems like a great person, but he gets questioned about this, and he says he thought that it was a doctor or a Red Cross worker because he does a lot of work with the Red Cross, or the U.S. supports the Red Cross. I mean, it doesn't, I have it right in front of me right now. It doesn't look like a Red Cross worker. It doesn't look like a doctor. It looks like depictions of Jesus. But this, comes alongside his broader attacks on Christianity, particularly the Catholic Church. In one of his unhinged posts, I believe it was today as well. Or no, it was yesterday. He's talking about how the Pope is weak on crime. I did not know that part of his job was to persecute crime. I thought he was supposed to be the voice of Catholics throughout the world, not a leader on fighting crime. I believe that would be much more up the president's alley than it would be the Pope's. However, just an unhinged rant. I'd guess 300, 400 words long. An absolute storybook going off on the Pope. For what reason? Well, because he doesn't agree with this Iran war alongside pretty much a majority of America right now. I would argue it is a majority. I haven't seen the most recent polls on this, but I can only imagine a majority of Americans are more on the side of the Pope in this case than they are with the president, especially after you post a picture of yourself depicting yourself as Jesus Christ. Complete blasphemy. We'll get into that at the very end today, but I guess it's all but confirmed. President Trump is not a practicing Christian. He acts like it. He acts like he is a Christian. He claims that he is sometimes. This all but confirms that he has no faith whatsoever, especially when you're posting pictures depicting yourself as Jesus. I think every Christian knows that this probably isn't a good idea. Most Christians know they're probably going to have to answer for why they depicted themselves as Jesus, as the Savior. Thank goodness, it wasn't Muhammad, because the Muslims would kill him. But, absolutely terrible decisions coming out of the White House these days. Just, one after another. It seems to never stop. Wonder if he's posted, probably, I wonder if he's doubled down on this. I guess the doubling down was depicting himself as Jesus alongside the attacks on the Catholic Church. I'm not even a Catholic, but I know, there's no reason to attack the Pope for being against this war of aggression. But yeah, we'll move on from this until the end, and I will read you a correlating scripture to what's going on today. But we'll move on to, I guess, the Iran conflict, war, whatever's going on right now. It seems that my gut feeling from Friday was right. The peace talks in Islamabad fell through after 21 hours this weekend. You can't say that Pakistan didn't try. They put on a show for this. Put up billboards outside of the event. the event, the peace talks, the ceasefire talks, whatever you want to call them. I mean, they made it a spectacle. They put up billboards with the U.S., Iran, and Pakistan flags, reading Islamabad talks, April 2026. Like, it seems like they thought this was going to work. And I had hoped it was going to work. But, I mean, I internally realized that the two parties were just too far apart to reach any substantial agreement, and that this probably wouldn't end this weekend. And then after 21 hours, not even 24, 21 hours, J.D. Vance packs up his bags and decides that they're not going to reach an agreement. It's time to go home. So, this resulted in a U.S. blockade of Iranian ports, reportedly over 15 warships, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern time today. President Trump made another True Social post claiming 34 ships went through the Strait of Hormuz yesterday, which is by far the highest number since this foolish closure began, albeit that he admitted that these are mostly Iranian, Chinese, Pakistani, and Russian ships, meaning the U.S. is making no money off of these whatsoever, seeing very little, if any, benefit from these ships going through. I've been checking today just what's going on. The only ship in the Strait of Hormuz right now is heading to China. That's right now. The only ship going through is heading to China. Meaning, what benefit are we going to receive from this? Probably none whatsoever, if any, very little. But yeah, so the blockade is now on. There are reports that over 120 empty oil tankers are headed to the United States to buy oil now as a result of this blockade. I wanted to think of this as like some successful 3D chess move, 4D, 5D chess you can smell or whatnot. But, I mean, reality struck, and, I mean, this is... It doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things with what's going on with Iran, that these ships are coming here. I looked into it. As of 2024, the U.S. daily oil surplus is 2,380,000 barrels of gas a day is our surplus, meaning we produce more than we actually consume, both being number one in the world, actually. But I also look at the national gas price average, which is $4.125 a gallon. A little bit higher than anybody would hope for. A little bit higher than, the best economy ever. The golden age what we as a population would expect. When I think of golden age, I think of, gas sitting around $1.50 at best, $1.80 at worst. But no, the golden age is $4 and basically 13 cents a gallon. That's the U.S. average. But essentially what is keeping this up is supply issues around the world is causing more demand elsewhere, demand that was usually filled by Iranian oil. And now with access to supply, shut down 20%, I believe. That's what everybody's going with, the number 20% of oil. It's causing prices to go up. And we're feeling that at home. We're feeling that every time we go to the gas station. Like I said the other day, I was driving around $4.99 a gallon of gas at one place, $4.80 at another. I finally found somewhere this weekend that was below $4, but that was, like trying to find a needle in a haystack. And I mean, Florida's even below the national average right now, believe it or not. Or maybe I got that wrong. They're pretty much neck and neck, but we're paying way too much for fuel. And I mean, I thought we were in the golden age. I thought we'd be paying much less in a golden age for fuel, especially if we produce more than we consume, meaning we do have an oil surplus. I guess these ships are coming, these 120 ships are coming to buy from this surplus, I guess, stimulating the economy somehow, an economy that's severely overinflated currently. And consumers not wanting to spend anything. I guess a little bit of stimulation from this is good. However, it doesn't outweigh the fact that gas prices have gone up, roughly 70% since all this started. I mean, going from below $3 to over $4 is absolutely absurd. It is counterintuitive to affordability, the big word thrown around these days. Is it affordable? Well, $4.13 a gallon gas is not affordable for anybody, unless you are the people and the 1% making at least 7 figures a year. I guess then it's still affordable for you. But for the average person who goes to work, has a family to feed, it's not affordable. Has house payments, car payments. I mean, it's like you're paying a car payment every time you fill up your gas tank right now. I mean, absolutely absurd. But, we have this huge win that they're coming to buy our oil, meaning that our supply is going to go down and demand here is going to go up, because I don't feel like there's going to be any limits to ensure that production stays above consumption. And if we don't limit that, then we're going to have an issue with consumption side here. And then there's no gas in the gas stations. Then there's no gas in your tank. I mean, this seems like a very poorly or ill-conceived attempt at this 5D chess. Let's see. Somebody commented, terribly bad judgment on Trump's part, but watching the liberals lose their mind is almost worth it. Yeah, I'll talk about that here after we get through the Iran stuff. But yeah, liberals are their own worst enemy right now. He also posted on Truth Social at some point over this weekend or today. I think in the last 24 hours, it says Iran's navy is laying at the bottom of the sea, completely obliterated, 158 ships. What we have not hit are their small number of what they call fast attack ships, because we did not consider them much of a threat. Warning, if any of these ships come anywhere close to our blockade, they will be immediately eliminated, using the same system of kill that we use against the drug dealers on boats at sea. It is quick and brutal. P.S. 98.2% of drugs coming into the U.S. by ocean or sea have stopped. First of all, I don't know where he gets that 98.2%. We would see even less so of a drug crisis than we're still experiencing. I'm almost sure that the number stopped is nowhere near that high. Because apparently nobody's crossing the border. 98.2% of the drugs at sea are stopped. Yet we still have overdoses here in America of illegal substances, meaning they're getting here somehow. I guess if you stop 98.2% and there's 500% more attempted crossings, you don't get the numbers you want. But the drugs are still coming in, believe it or not. They still are. People are still overdosing every single day. But this makes me think these go fast attack ships, or whatever they want to call them, fast attack ships. This is where the false flag is. It's going to be something hits the side of a boat, and then now we have full reason, full authorization to go to war because one of our ships has been attacked. It's going to be one of these, whether it is actually one of them, an underwater drone, I think is much more likely something like we've all seen used in Ukraine against Russian ships. I mean, just a little bit sits above the water line, hits the side of a boat, fills it up with water, it sinks. I think this is going to be where the false flag is, that allows full war in Iran, allows boots on the ground. And before, like I've said time and time again, before anybody's any of the wiser, there are people on the ground and it's too late. Losses are already mounting. But I think this blockade is setting up for I have a feeling, I don't think entirely, I have a feeling that this blockade is setting up for one of these false flag attacks, whether it be U.S. on U.S., Israel on U.S., like we've seen before. I believe this is setting up for a Gulf of Tonkin-like thing, and we'll hear the news. U.S. boat gets attacked, sinks in Arabian Sea, and then before we realize that it wasn't even one of these fast attack ships, it was some underwater drone that we can't confirm actually came from Iran or not. We're already on Iran mainland. We're on the islands. We're fighting a war, and there's no way of stopping it at that point. That's how I feel that this is going to end up. I believe we are setting the stage for one of these false flag attacks. Truly, I think this is what it's pointing to, because approval is so low right now for this war. There needs to be something that happens to get people on board, even if it's just quick enough that, you turn your head one way, and before you turn your head back, there's troops on the ground in Iran. I think that's how quickly all this is going to happen. So don't look away. I mean, don't be distracted, because this is going to be not going to. There is a chance this is the false flag incoming that is going to be needed for reason for boots on the ground, reason for more and more casualties, and as many call it, I would call it too, a war of aggression. But it needs something to happen for approval, and this is probably the best way to do so, is to have something terrible happen during this blockade, during this time of relative peace, high tensions but relative peace, and then something happens, and then all of a sudden we're all in once again. I don't know, I don't want to dwell on that, but I think this is the opportunity, if there's ever going to be one, and then before you know it, we're just in too deep. That's truly my fear with this, alongside the mounting affordability crisis. Is there anything I'm missing with this? I mean, I bet you guys can see how that would happen. I truly do. I mean, I don't know. I hope it doesn't happen. But the stage is set, especially with a couple of boats already transiting through the Strait of Hormuz into the Arabian Sea. I mean, it's not a place I'd want to be right now. It's not a place that I want to be right now. Whether on one of those boats or in this situation as a country. But yeah, just hope that doesn't happen, because that would be what allows for total war, boots on the ground, invasion of Iran, and then once again another forever war. Even if we know it's going to happen, or the military knows it's going to happen, if another military wants it to happen. I mean, we're in a bad situation right now. But I'll go back to what I was talking about, that the liberals are their own worst enemy right now. I was talking to somebody on the phone the other day, and we were talking about how crazy Trump's acting. And like, he's making all these terrible decisions, right? And everybody can see that they're terrible decisions. It doesn't take like a genius to determine that this Iran war is not popular in the public, that rising gas prices aren't popular in the public. It doesn't take a genius. It doesn't take even commentary. People see it happen. They react. They have a negative opinion. But Democrats keep going on television and like trying to further this point to their own agenda. And it's like, if you just shut up, somebody might vote for you. But when you open your mouth and show that you might be dumber, I mean, it's like, why? Why are you even doing that? Like, you could consider voting Democrat almost until they open their mouth and comment on stupid things that are happening. And then they have stupider propositions. And it's like, what are you doing? I mean, somebody has to come through America with a better idea than what's going on. It's obviously not the Democrats, because every time they talk about something Trump does, it's like, you know what? As bad as it is, whatever you just said is like 5 times worse. Like, just shut up and have absolutely no opinions on stuff, and people might actually vote for you. I mean, truly, all they have to do to sweep this election is just shut up. And when they open their mouth, they ruin all their odds. They ruin every single chance they have just because of how dumb they are. And it's actually incredible. I mean, it's like everybody realizes it seems that Trump is running this country into the ground right now. And all they have to do is sit there and watch. But instead they want to like get involved in this train wreck and somehow like make it worse. And it's like, all you had to do was just not post on social media, to not do the NBC interview. It's all you had to do. And you chose to prove how dumb you are when we're seeing the dumbest stuff possibly in history unfold in front of us. And you want to interject your dumber opinion into the madness. I mean, absolutely incredible stupidity. I guess one would expect nothing more from Democrats, but like, all they have to do is just shut up until midterms and they would win in a landslide. But every time they open their mouth, it's like, I'd rather vote for Lindsey Graham. I mean, it's truly terrible how bad they are. They just hate America, I guess, or something. Does anybody love America anymore? I can't be the only one. I can't be the last one standing. Oh no, I've angered the Chinese bots on Kick again. They're posting in Chinese. But we'll move on from this to some strange things happening in state politics today. So, the first one I saw today is California has proposed a bill to criminalize investigative journalism. They're calling it the Stop Nick Shirley Act. This act would make investigative journalism punishable by misdemeanors, $10,000 fines, and possible imprisonment. I thought we had freedom of the press here in America. It's absolutely incredible when your state is so corrupt that you want to punish the person actually trying to figure out the truth, trying to shine light on the fraud, the abuse of your government. You're going to make it illegal for him to do so. You're not going to actually clean up the problem within, the crime within. It's easier to imprison people that point out the crime, point out the fraud, point out the abuse. I mean, how ass backwards is that? It makes more sense for California, in their opinion, to punish people for doing the right thing as opposed to just do the right thing internally. I guess we understand why California is a democratic stronghold. I mean, when you're trying to put off your government abuse onto somebody else and then punish them for exposing it, I mean, how ass backwards can you be? I mean, sorry for using that word, but it's true. I mean, it's true. This is the most, like, dystopian law proposition I think I've ever seen besides the Patriot Act. Instead of, welcoming them and saying, how can we cut back on the crime, the wasted money in our government? Instead of welcoming them and saying, please do more, point this out for us so we can fix it, it makes more sense to them to arrest that person because they don't want to fix it. California doesn't want to fix the fraud. Minnesota doesn't want to fix the fraud. They don't want to stop wasting money because it's benefiting them. They don't want voter integrity because it's benefiting them. And it's shocking to me. And it makes you think, like, what could be? What could be if you got out the fraud and abuse from state governments such as California, such as Minnesota? What would the Electoral College look like? What would elections look like? Because it would probably be a red landslide if you could stop voter fraud in these states. If these people could not finance their campaigns and cover things up with taxpayer money that has been fraudulently acquired. I mean, it truly makes you wonder, like, what could be if the fraud and abuse was rooted out of our government. It makes me feel like radical, honestly. It's like, how can you be okay with this, and how can you put it on the person who is exposing it? You would rather fully cover up your crimes as opposed to allowing somebody point them out and fix them, or helping you to fix them. I mean, truly, truly incredible stuff out of California, trying to punish investigative journalism. I mean, and I think if this gets signed into law, there's no way that this doesn't get to the Supreme Court in, like, I guess, they don't work too fast, but a couple of months. I mean, this is an infringement on the First Amendment to the highest degree. So I don't think there's any way that this goes through, but the fact that they're proposing it should tell you a lot. Should tell you a lot about what their incentives are, whether it be to steal money from the government, have fraudulent elections, have fraudulent voters. I mean, the list goes on. Those are the main ones: stealing money from the taxpayers, embezzlement, and then just scam voting. I mean, having homeless people sign petitions under somebody else's name. When this gets exposed, it's like, it's time to go punish the person that exposes it. No, it's time for you to actually do your job and have, like, a reputable government and not be, like, borderline third world country antics. But that's what Democrats are. I mean, they seek to be the third world. I mean, I never thought that anybody in America could stoop that low, where you actually seek to be a third world country, yet we experience it all the time with Democrats, whether it be allowing people to do crimes. I mean, that's the main one, but also stealing money from taxpayers is another big one. But I guess, you just shouldn't put these things past Democrats. I mean, no matter how bad the Republican Party gets, you just have to look at Democrats and realize, oh, it could be worse. It truly could be. We could let 20-something time repeat criminals out to kill people out on no bail. I mean, just sign and say, oh, I'm going to stop doing it, and then they do the crime again 14 times worse than the last time because you've let them out 20 times before. Let people steal all the taxpayers' money used for children and send that to another third world country, essentially running the economy for Somalia, I'll say it. I mean, just impressive stuff out of Democrats. And then on the other end of these interesting state actions today, Texas is investigating Lululemon for forever chemicals, or PFAs. These are per and polyfluoroalkyl substances in its clothing. So I guess we're on the verge of another massive win for the conspiracy theorists. I mean, if you told me that my clothes are causing cancer, I would have said, you're insane, up until today. And now Texas is investigating a company that promotes itself as a fitness, wellness clothing brand for putting cancer-causing chemicals in the clothing. I mean, I thought about, just maybe I have to do these shirtless from now on so I don't get cancer. Then I thought second about that. I don't think anybody wants to watch that. But it's like, if a wellness clothing company, wellness style, wellness branded clothing company is giving you cancer from their clothes, like, who else is? And like, what can you wear? Like, is this causing cancer right now? I hope not. But the conspiracy theorists are all like, your clothes give you cancer, the water gives you cancer. And then it's like, well, how are they always right about these things? Like, how did they know the water was that bad? How did they know that our clothes are giving us cancer somehow? But, they're on the verge of another massive win, and that makes them like 100% in the last 25 years, which is frightening. I guess everything but the earth is flat, but I find those people on the other, like, beyond conspiracy theorist, I think those are just hard heads. But yeah, they're right again, I guess. Texas is investigating Lululemon for cancer-causing chemicals in the clothing. I never thought I'd see the day that our clothes give us cancer. I mean, incredible stuff. I hope they figure out the truth on this thing in Texas. Because if it is true, it's really alarming. If it's not, then, it's the first conspiracy theorist loss in like 25 years, like I said. But yeah, we'll move on from that because it's not confirmed yet. It's not confirmed that Lululemon is giving people cancer, but if it is, you just got to think about how high up women hike those into themselves, the leggings, and then what that's going to do to future generations. You thought Tylenol was bad. Wait till your kid's born with cancer from Lululemon leggings being hiked up all the way up their behind. I mean, what a time to be alive. We've got states outlawing journalism and states accusing the leggings maker for cancer. I'm gonna have to change what I work out in. I don't want cancer for my athletic shorts. Looks like we're going back to the child laborers at Nike, guys. We'll move on. There's another story that's gaining a lot of attention today out of Indiana. Nothing to do with the state for the most part, but another semi-truck accident happened today in Indiana, and it looks like it was basically a replay of what happened less than a year ago, pretty close to me on the Florida Turnpike near Fort Pierce, Florida. From the video, you see that the 18-wheeler is once again across both sides of the median on a highway. From what you can tell, apparently, I mean, the front end of the truck, it's a red truck that hit the back of an 18-wheeler. The trailer of it hit it with speed. I mean, enough speed that the entire front engine compartment is crushed in. Thank goodness this time the person didn't go completely underneath it and get stuck. But I mean, it is a nasty crash. You can tell just because of how crumpled the front end of this, I believe it's a red pickup truck, was in the video from a passerby. We don't have video from in the cab yet. We don't have video of it actually happening. We just have a video in the aftermath. There's still an ambulance at the screen or at the scene. And the driver is wearing a turban. I mean, it's like I've seen this before. It's like we've all seen this before. And nothing changed. I mean, it looks like the U-turn accident in Florida from, I believe it was August last year. And it looks, I mean, like it has repeated itself with just a different vehicle hitting the trailer of a truck. And we've got to ask ourselves, how many times does this have to happen before we see changes in the 18-wheeler community? You hear the 18-wheeler drivers, the American ones, all calling out that these people are terrible drivers. They do illegal stuff like this all the time. And nothing really has changed. We got mad at New York. We got mad at California. Yet these people are still on the road claiming lives with reckless abandon. I mean, it looks like it was probably just a repeat once again. And I thought we were going to have change. I thought, they would be English literacy tests like we have now in Florida at some points. But nothing's changed. I mean, it looks exactly like what happened in August 2025 in Fort Pierce. I don't know what needs to be done. You hear other truck drivers saying, oh, they can't read. They don't know what the road signs mean. They don't follow traffic laws. And for some reason, we don't listen to the people that have the most interactions with each other. We don't listen to the ones that say, yes, I've seen them driving the wrong way on highways, which has happened over and over and over again. The ones that say they don't understand what the signages mean and they think they can do U-turns everywhere. And we don't listen to the American truckers that are being forced out by these people coming in for, dirt cheap wages on H-1B visas, working well beyond the allotted windows of operation for a trucker, driving beyond their, I believe it's 10 hours you get on a shift, driving well beyond that. And then what does the civilian population get as a result? Well, we get death time and time again, and there's no substantial changes made, nothing that actually has made a difference, because it feels like I've seen the same thing twice, but they're over 1,000 miles apart. How many more times does this need to happen before we see substantial change in the CDL community, in the 18-wheeler community, where we actually use the Americans that are here that are being forced out by these people, these Americans that also have proven they can do this without making U-turns, killing families, killing people. How many times does this have to happen before something changes in this, and we put the people who are the most qualified, the people who can actually understand the road signs, read the road signs, understand what they mean? How long before we put those people back on the road and bring back at least some safety, at least not unfathomably dangerous people who have no regard for human lives, it seems? I don't know. Is it going to be, am I going to have to see 3 more of these where a family drives under the back of an 18-wheeler that's across both outgoing and incoming traffic? I mean, I don't know, but I'm tired of it. It's scary, especially for people that have to drive on the interstates every day, knowing that this could happen to you or your family. I mean, completely disturbing. And it's not like we don't have an abundance of people who have proven over 20 plus years that they can do this job. It's that we would rather cheap out and bring somebody in from a third world country, once again, third world country, word of the day. But bring these people in to do these jobs at slave wages with no care about human lives and no ability to understand what's going on around them with road signs. I mean, it's got to end. It's got to end. And we need to punish the companies that are allowing this to happen. The people that are bringing these people over to just kill Americans with reckless abandon. But yeah, I didn't mean to get that upset about this, but it's truly frustrating that this has to happen twice. And it seems like nothing's being done. I mean, hopefully it happens this time, but the first time was more than enough. The first time this happened was more than enough. And we should have done clean sweeps of everybody with the CDL and said, why are you here? Why do you have a CDL on an H-1B visa? Why are you here illegally with a CDL? We should have fixed this after the first time, but now it's happened again. Are we going to see the change this time? Are we going to see it next time? Are we going to see it 3 times later? I don't know, but it needs to happen. The first time was already too much. We'll move on. Somebody says, goodbye, Eric Swalwell. I bet criminal charges will be coming. Hopefully. We talked about this at the end of the Friday show when this first came up, these allegations of sexual assault. I feel like misconduct is too soft of a term for what's going on. But apparently today he has suspended his governor campaign. He's also apparently under investigation by the Ethics Committee. I believe it's the House Ethics Committee. Hopefully justice is served. You can't be sexually assaulting your staffers. I mean, it's evil, it's wrong, disgusting. You shouldn't be doing that. I mean, he should have already. I mean, they should throw him out of Congress as soon as possible. But will it be done? No, because the Republicans are soft and the Democrats probably want him around. It's like, you know, he's a likable guy. You know, he just has his problems. He just can't keep his hands to himself at work. But, you know, he's really likable, and he pushes our liberal agenda, and the Republicans are going to be like, who have the majority, who should be able to get him out. They're going to be like, but they like him. The Democrats like this guy, so we're just going to keep him around. And like, what if somebody else did this? And it's like, everybody's the damn same up there. Everybody is the damn same. Oh, maybe this is what it is. It says he has resigned from the U.S. House after sexual misconduct allegations. That is just now. Wow. Apparently nobody was going to come to his defense. Good. We got one piece of justice today out of a million. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. He's over. Dude was deranged at best. But evil, evil person. I don't want to know who the next woker person is going to be that replaces him, though. Like, yes, he needed to go, but what is California going to dig up next? It's going to be like a self-acclaimed Marxist. It's like, yeah, this is what we need. This is what we need. We need more Marxist socialists in the House of Representatives. Like Ilhan Omar wasn't enough. Like AOC wasn't enough. We'll just get a few more of those people. Goodness, the left is dumb. I think that's all we have for today's news. I'm just going to look through and see if anything else has came out. And the last hour, as it normally does. Let's see. Let's go here. In the meantime, make sure you guys are dropping a like, subscribing on YouTube, following on Rumble, following on Kick. You know, share this video if you would. Share it to a family member, friend, somebody that could use today's news in a short hour, as it's going to be by the end of it. But yeah, I hope you guys would be willing to share, and I thank you guys for sticking around till the end once again. Okay, I don't think. Okay. I was reading something and it says hypocrisy charges for Canadian leaders. I was like, is hypocrisy illegal in Canada now? That place has gone off the rails. No, that's just people calling them hypocrites for using plastic cups at Coachella after they were banned for the entire country of Canada, which is, I mean, kind of Orwellian. Imagine you can't have red Solo cups anymore. Parties in Canada must suck. Must be the worst parties ever. Let's see. It's like, how do you play beer pong in Canada with no red Solo cups? That doesn't work. But let's move on to the good news for today. I told you it would relate to what President Trump's been up to with good old social media and comparing himself to Jesus in pictures. I mean, absolutely absurd, blasphemous stuff. Wow. I mean, yeah. This is what happens when you let Paula White get too close to the president. You have him start doing this and thinking he's Jesus, but he's not. We'll talk about that right here. We're in 2 Thessalonians chapter 2. Interestingly enough, this is captioned in my Bible, the man of lawlessness. Where have we heard this one before? But we'll start reading. We'll read through chapter 2, verse 1 through verse 12 today. It says, concerning the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ and our being gathered to him, we ask you, brothers, not to come easily unsettled or alarmed by some prophecy, report, or letter supposed to have come from us, saying that the day of the Lord has already come. Don't let anyone deceive you in any way, for that day will not come until the rebellion occurs, and the man of lawlessness is revealed, the man doomed to destruction. He will oppose and will exalt himself over everything that is called God, or is worshipped, so that he sets himself up in God's temple, proclaiming himself to be God. Don't you remember that when I was with you, I used to tell you these things? And now you know what is holding him back, so that he may be revealed at the proper time. For the secret power of lawlessness is already at work, but the one who now holds it back and will continue to do so till he is taken out of the way, and then the lawlessness one will be revealed, whom the Lord Jesus will overthrow with the breath of his mouth and destroy by the splendor of his coming. The coming of the lawless one will be in accordance with the work of Satan, displayed in kinds of counterfeit miracles, signs, and wonders, and in every sort of evil that deceives those who are perishing. They will perish because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion, so that they will believe the lie, and so that all will be condemned who have not believed the truth, but have delighted in wickedness. It's like we've heard this one before. It's like these are what people have been calling Trump for a while. And then it seems that he has just shown himself as being the man of lawlessness, mocking the Lord. And I don't think the people surrounding him are helping with that in any such way. Let me see if I can fix this. We're going to switch the cameras over real quick. The worst part about this part, I guess there's no way to fix this right now. We're just at that time of the day. Means we need to just go ahead and wrap this up pretty quickly. But we're warned about this in the Bible. People who proclaim themselves to be God. And in that picture that was posted today, I mean, Trump was, if not proclaiming himself to be God, pretty close. That comparison depicting himself as someone to be prayed to, someone that does the healing like Jesus, is quite alarming. Especially from somebody who has acted like he is a Christian. You know, he has taken all these photo ops going in and out of church. Whether he listens is an entirely different question. But acting as if, or comparing yourself to Jesus, alongside the people surrounding him, allegedly claiming that he is the second coming, is alarming. And the Bible does warn us about this, calling it the man of lawlessness, saying that someone will attempt to deceive you, that they are God himself, and they are to be worshipped, yet they aren't. And it also calls this the work of Satan, which I find extremely accurate in this instance. This is the work of Satan. Counterfeit signs, counterfeit miracles. I mean, this is his playbook, it seems, these days. And we should all be calling him out on this. A powerful delusion. Well, lots of people call him delusional these days, and he's rather powerfully delusional, if you can't tell, comparing yourself to Jesus Christ. I mean, this is the work of Satan in this world. And it looks like it's tricked our president. I mean, thank goodness we only have, 2.5 more years of this? Over 2.5 more years. I know this is the work of Satan. This is the work of the devil. These are the acts of evil. And this is a man, seemingly right now, I don't know if it's somebody in his ear. I have my suspicions it's a couple of people in his ear. Not just in his circle, but also in the media. If you want to take any guesses as to who those people are, be my guest. But there are people that are falling victim to this greater delusion that's not just within President Trump right now, but within what is quote-unquote MAGA. They are in a delusional state in which they find this okay. And any Christian that looks at this shouldn't. It says that this is the work of the devil. And I can't argue with that. I see it the exact same way. And many others do. And then on top of that, he's attacking the faith leader of the Catholic Church, which makes very little sense, to me at least. I guess to some people, maybe you just despise the Catholics. I think they're all right. I don't agree with everything they teach. But I also know that they're Christians and they're generally pretty good people. Now, people that mock Jesus, on the other hand, I don't find to be great people. I find that to be part of the fallenness of this world, part of Satan's influence over the world, how he deceives people. And at this point, I mean, it looks like it has captured the commander-in-chief of America, the president. The most powerful man in America seems to be captured by this spell right now. And I mean, I don't have any solutions other than to change the people around him and, I don't know, maybe bring the Pope in and, cast the demons out of him or something. I mean, maybe that's what needs to be done. What do they call those? What's that called? And you have a priest come in and cast the demons out. I don't know. Oh, an exorcism. Yeah, bring the Pope in for an exorcism in the Oval Office and just watch everybody start screaming and stuff. I feel like that'd make a good briefing. Be like, yeah, today we're going to have an exorcism and we're going to try and make everybody stop comparing themselves to Jesus Christ here. Get rid of the delusion. And that'd be like one of those crazy movies. Horror movies when you see everybody around like, ah. I don't know, I shouldn't joke like that, but it seems like it needs to be done. I mean, this is truly an evil, wicked time we're going through right now. And like I always say, your best bet is to just give your life to Christ. Convert. Repent. Accept Jesus into your heart. Read the Bible. Go to church. But most importantly, like I said, accept Jesus into your heart as your one true Savior. Because Donald Trump has proven he's not going to be it on so many different levels this week already. That's not to mention all the other times people think, oh my goodness, he's going to save us. He's not going to save you. The only thing powerful enough to save you is Jesus Christ himself. Definitely not a person who mocks him. But yeah, I think we'll wrap up there. Make sure you guys are dropping a like, subscribing, following, sharing. Anything else of note? I guess this weekend may look a little different. I do have a meeting scheduled on Friday and a couple of more things seemingly coming up around that time. So I don't know if we're going to have all 5 shows this week, truly. I'll try my hardest. I will. But there are no promises, particularly on Friday into the week. I don't know that we'll have all 5 this week, but I'm going to try. So I'll keep you guys filled in future episodes tomorrow. Hopefully I'll know by Wednesday. I'll need to know by Wednesday, I guess, but I'll keep you guys filled in on what's going on with that. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. What a crazy day once again. I mean, the craziness just keeps coming. It truly does. Let's see. I don't think I have anything else, so we'll wrap it up here. And I should see you guys tomorrow at 4:45 Eastern time. So to all my people on the East Coast, I hope you get home safe. To my people further west, I hope you finish up your workday strong and get home safe as well. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon.